My name is Katrine McGrattan and I am the Programme Advisor at Maynooth University. Today I'd like to talk you through our programme and subject choices at Maynooth University. To start with, I'd like to talk about some university terminology that you may be or may not be familiar with. After that, we'll look at some of the choices you'll get to make both during your first year and in your second year and beyond. These choices form what we call our undergrad curriculum. Sometimes at university we use different words to describe concepts that you might be already familiar with, but it's the language that we use at the university, so it's important for you to be familiar with it. I've already mentioned the idea of programme choice. So what do I mean by a programme? It's the term we use to describe what you will study with us. So perhaps you'll join us on a certificate, a diploma, a degree, a master's, a PhD programme, or something in between. So instead of listing all of those all of the time, we refer to your programme of study. Your programme of study is likely to be divided into a number of subjects or consist of one subject. So what we mean by that are topics that you might be familiar with already if you're coming to us from a school setting, like history, English, biology, chemistry. We also have other subjects that you may be less familiar with if you're coming to us from a school setting, but perhaps you're used to them if you're coming to us from a work setting. So for example, criminology, law, accounting, finance, international business. So these are the subjects that our programs are broken into. And then our subjects are broken into smaller bite-sized topics that are easier to take on as a student. We call these modules. So each subject is broken into a number of modules or bite-sized topics of that subject. So for example, I might be studying history and the module might be Vikings. I study English and the module might be Irish literature in the 19th century. I'll study biology and the module might be cell structure. So what that really looks like is that our modules are what build up to become our subjects. Our subjects build up the programme that we're studying, and then ultimately after your 3 or 4 years with us, you'll graduate with a qualification, a degree in your chosen programme. But here you are thinking about joining us, and what I want to say to you is that this is what your first year will look like. This is your first year at Maynooth University. It's blank for a reason. This page is blank because you are going to fill this page, not just in your first year, but in your second year and beyond. The reason it's blank is because it's yours to fill. There's no more people telling you have to study this subject, you have to study that module, we're going to need you to look at this. You have the opportunity to shape your degree from the very beginning at Maynooth University. So it wouldn't be right for me to put in subject choice, module choice for you. You get that opportunity to shape your degree. And that's what's so great about the flexible programs that we offer at Maynooth University. It's not just about subject and module choice, of course. There be other things that you might add to your year one. You might join a club or society. You might become involved in our Green Campus Committee. Perhaps you'll choose to be an academic rep and represent your class to the university. This page is yours to fill. And this is because we want our students to know no bounds. Your degree isn't decided. It's not prescribed to you. You're going to shape it for yourself. So ultimately, it will know no bounds. You'll be the one to decide what you study, how you study it, when you study it with us. You will shape your degree. So what kind of choices am I talking about? Well, for example, if you're joining us on our arts degree, you'll get to choose from 38 subjects. You can choose a combination of 4 subjects, 3 subjects, 2 subjects in your first year from our 38 subjects. If you're joining us on the science program, you'll be choosing 3 subjects from 9. You will take a 4th subject, and that'll be maths. Maths is a subject that all of our first year science students take. And the great thing about these programs and the choice that we offer, it means that if you're not sure what you'd like to study, but you know that you like the general areas, then you have an opportunity to start broad and to specialise later, because that's how our programs work. Arts students take up to 4 subjects in their first year, and then they choose from those 4 subjects which 2 or 1 subject they'd like to take into their second year. Our science students study 4 subjects in their first year and then choose which 3 they'd like to take into their second year. Their specialism then comes in third year, where they can choose 2 or 1 subjects to continue into their final year. So that's what I'm talking about here. We talk about your second way pathway. So you'll decide the structure of your degree after your first year. So you could choose to specialise in 1 subject, either as a major or as a single major subject, or you might decide to keep 2 subjects together, and we consider that a double major. For students on our arts and science program, you might decide after your first year that actually you would prefer to transfer into one of our other programs, and this may be possible depending on your first year subject combination. There are opportunities to transfer from our arts program into business, law, accounting, and computer science programs. Another exciting opportunity you'll have if you join us at Maynooth University is to incorporate an elective into your second year. Many of our programs allow students to take an elective. The idea behind an elective is to enhance your second year and your program overall in a way that doesn't mean extra work. So I have a list of electives that are running this year for our second year students. And as you can see, there's a wide variety of topics that students can study in their second year as their elective. And the idea is that it's a way of bringing a new topic, something that you're excited about, something that you're passionate about, something that perhaps you think you might like to do after your degree with us, either as a master's or as a career. And it's a way of trying on that subject in your second year. Some of our more popular electives include a great one called War, Terrorism and Global Security. Another great one, Gender and Sexuality in Society and Culture. For students who are thinking perhaps they might like to go on and have teaching as their career, we have an excellent elective in Education, Engagement and Equality. The idea behind the elective is not that you'll have a degree in the topic, but that you'll get to explore the topic in detail in your second year with perhaps a view of, as I say, working in that area or doing further study. Electives are only available to our second year students, and you don't need to decide now what you'd like to do as your second year elective. We have some great electives coming on board in the new academic year, and no doubt we'll have new electives when it comes to your second year. Really what we're trying to say to you is that Maynooth is flexible in terms of subject choice, module choice, but also in the way that you get to shape your degree while you're with us. Another great opportunity for our students to shape their degree comes in the third year, which is the opportunity to study abroad. Perhaps you'll study abroad at one of our European partners through the Erasmus Plus programme, or you might go further afield and study with one of our partners in North America, Asia, Australia, or South America. The great thing about our study abroad options is they're not just for students who study a language. Oftentimes students feel that they are precluded from doing study abroad because they don't have a language. In fact, you'll have the opportunity to study in one of our many partners that teach through English. If you do decide to take on study abroad, your degree will become a BA, a BSc, or whatever your title of degree is, BCL, LLB, International, meaning it's very clear for future employers to recognise that you have spent time studying abroad. I mentioned earlier that you'll have many opportunities to shape and fill that blank first year that's ahead of you. And you might choose to take on one of the opportunities that are available to our Experiential Learning Office. My colleagues in the Experiential Learning Office have their own video that you can watch in great detail, and they'll tell you about the opportunities such as our summer programme of undergraduate research, which is excellent and will give you a real flavour of what it's like to do research. Maybe you'll do the Maynooth University Student Experience Award, where we will not only recognise but reward you for the work that you do outside of the classroom. That could be here on Maynooth campus, or that might also be in your home community. It's really important for us to acknowledge the learning that you have, both in the classroom, on our campus, but also in your community. The Experiential Learning Office also have a fantastic elective that we've spoken about called Skills for Success, which is about professional development and employability skills that you'll need into the future. I'd like to congratulate you for starting on your Maynooth University student experience journey, because that's what today is. Coming to our campus virtually for our open day is your first step about learning about our degrees and the flexibility and the choice that we offer. Your open day research is really important. It's important for you to know what options you'll have, what opportunities you can take, and what choices you'll get to make, so that you know by the end of your degree, which may now seem really far away, but it's important that you know that your degree will be really valuable to you by the time you finish with us. What's also important for you to know is that throughout your time at Maynooth University, you'll have lots of support in terms of those decisions and choices that you'll make. Not least from ourselves in the Programme Advisory Office. You'll see us at the start of your journey when you're choosing your subjects for the first time. You'll see us at the start of second year when you're choosing which subjects to progress into your second year, whether or not to take an elective. We'll work with our colleagues in the Study Abroad Office and the International Office to talk to you about your options about studying overseas in your third year. But at every step of the way, you will have supports from the institution. Our colleagues in the Admissions Office have pulled together this virtual open day so that you can continue to learn about the options that you'll have. I look forward to hearing from lots of you with your questions that I'm sure you have. The Programme Advisory Office are available today to answer your questions, but also right through until you join us as a student. Our email address is programme.choices@mu.ie.